Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Dan Ashendorf. It's great to have you here. Today we're going to be looking at something really interesting, which is driving traffic with Quora. Now, I've been using Quora on and off. I have a number of Shopify stores, and one of them is for plastic-free solutions. And Quora is really good for that because it's all about answering questions, and there is a lot of people asking questions about plastic-free life and about living without pollution and that sort of thing. So Quora was a really good way for us to drive traffic, but I also wanted to touch on the fact that Quora is part of a wider trend, which is content marketing. So content marketing is great for building your credibility and driving traffic, and also sending links back to your videos and stores and blogs and so on, because the internet is made up of content. So if we can produce lots of good content, that's going to place us in really good stead in terms of getting good SEO, getting found, getting backlinks, and just getting traffic. So with that said, let's have a look at Quora. Excuse me. And let's have a look at a couple of things which I have for you here. So let me just show you a couple of the posts that we put ourselves. Sorry, let me just close down a couple of the other screens. So you can see my wife there, and she is the woman in charge. And what we did is basically we found really good questions and we've answered it. Now I have to say, we didn't actually do it ourselves. We've outsourced it. It didn't cost us a lot of money to do this. It was something like $10. We found a really good writer, and what we did is we've just basically posted the questions and then we've answered them, and we had a decent amount of views on them. So just think about this, that costs about $10, and you can see here that we had 663 views. Now we've got quite a few of these, and the way that you drive traffic, and I'm going to show you a couple more, but the way that you drive traffic is either through dropping links in the answers themselves, or the other thing you can do is when you go to the bio, and I'll show you some examples of other people's bios, but when you go to the bio, you're perfectly entitled to leave some links. We've got the online store, we've got Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and so on, and that's really good because it builds up credibility. You'll see some of the views that we've had, but that builds up credibility and gets you sales as well. So let's continue with this. Here's another one. Now with this one, the title has changed. I have no idea why. We left an answer about plastic-free solutions. You can see it's all about that, but you can see here, guys, that we had a lot of views, and also we have a link straight to the store. Now what I'd recommend, I think one of the mistakes we did is we didn't have a lead capture, so we concentrated more on other ways of building our email list. So we were doing a lot of Facebook advertising, but as you'll see in just a moment, I'm going to show you an example of someone else, and you'll see that this is really, really good. So Quora is really, really good for capturing leads. And so let me just close that down. I have no idea, as I said, I have no idea where that heading came from. And the other one is, again, you can see here, what are some ways to handle plastic pollution? And you can see again, so we're getting quite a few views. And if you look at our profile, this is pretty much free traffic, so it doesn't take a lot to drive traffic. So let's see, I think there's the overall stats somewhere. Just bear with me here for a minute, guys. Oh, here we go. So you can see here that we've got 281 views just this month, and this is pretty much passive. So we've released a whole bunch of answers back in July, and you can see that they're just accumulating on their own without us doing anything, and we've only got about 5 or 6 excuse me, answers in there. So this is pretty much passive traffic, and it's really high quality. I mean, we were getting some good sales out of this, and so that's really, in a nutshell, kind of an overview of how the system works. And I wanted to show you a couple more tricks of the trades. So you need to have a strong profile. Now let me just show you this guy's example here. His name is Nicholas Cole. He struck me as having a really good, I've done some research before creating this video. So this chap here, so you can see, first of all, he's got a very strong call to action that will build up his email list. You can see he's using graphics, so that's really important. And there is a whole bunch of information here about his credibility as well, his social media profiles, which is something that I showed you that we have as well. So you can see that this guy just kind of really oozes credibility. I'm sure there's people that are even more of that ilk, but he's just someone that grabbed my attention. So he kind of lays down his stall here. So that's his kind of call to action, and also building a list. So really good from that perspective, and I would recommend that you use some images and, as I said, call to action and a really strong bio if you can. The other thing is to repurpose the content. So guys, this $10 that we spent on content, let's reuse it. So put it into your blog. The presentation I'm doing at the moment, that was something that I did for another forum that I'm a member of. So now I'm creating a YouTube video out of it. So really important, if we invest in content, is to repurpose it. That's going to pay us really big dividends. And the other thing I wanted to show you is to use the power of followers. So basically the way that this works is when we, sorry, excuse me, 1 second here. So when we have followers, it's either our followers or people who follow a certain topic. Like, for example, if I go with, say, affiliate marketing, if we look at that, you can see that Quora tells you how many followers each of these has. Now, this is not an exact science, but when you post an answer, then generally these people will be notified. Now, I don't think, I mean, I've done some testing on this, I don't think they're all going to be notified. It's a little bit like Facebook and Instagram. No one quite knows how the algorithm works, but a percentage of them is going to be notified. What's pretty much beyond doubt is that if people subscribe to you, if they follow you, then they will be notified. And again, that's very similar to YouTube, for example, where you have subscribers to your channel, then people get notified every time you post a video. So you get, for example, an email from Gmail saying that such and such has posted a video. So as I said, no one really knows the precise algorithmic process here, but generally followers, these social media platforms, they want people to be engaged with their platform, and that's how they do it. They just notify followers, and this is why people follow, so that they can get relevant content into their feed. So that's another way, guys. So when we post answers, let's go for the ones that have the most followers, and let's try to post really interesting content so that people will start following us, and then that's going to notify them, and then we're going to get lots more eyeballs on our content. That's important. And the other thing I wanted to show you here is to get visual. So we've kind of touched on that when we looked at the previous bio, but let me just show you. This is a study here from BuzzSumo, and they looked at how many blog posts with images were shared. Then they looked at how many images per how many words got the best results. So you can see that article with image was got double. Article with an image once every 75 to 100 words got double the amount of shares of articles with fewer images. So having images does tend to get shared, it tends to get liked more, it tends to get followed. So that's very important, is to be visual in this regard. So let me just close that down. And the other thing I want to share with you here is the get them to want more kind of idea. And I wanted to show you this example here. So when we invest in writing an answer, we don't want to be giving the whole farm away. We want to be leaving a taster for more information so that people actually opt in or even purchase a product. I'd go for the opt-in and then get them onto a list and then possibly engage with them after that. But you can see here is an example that someone has posted a little bit of content, and then to get the premium stuff you need to subscribe. And this is something that everyone does. If you look at newspaper, you look at the Economist.com, you look at Inc, or anyone who's worth his salt online, they all do the same stuff. This is how we just do business, and I'd recommend that you do the same. And with Quora, what's good about it is the fact that you can leave links. They seem to be very generous with their linking policy, so that's very powerful from that perspective. And this one here, I'm just repeating myself, so you can ignore that if you don't mind. But guys, hopefully that's going to give you some ideas how to drive traffic with Quora. It's a very powerful platform, lots and lots of people on it. People are very engaged with the platform, and just a really, really good way to do business. I'm Dan Ashendorf. It's been a pleasure. Can't wait to speak to you again very, very soon. All the best, guys. Bye bye.